Hey, skate nerd Scott, back again. I told you that I had some treats for you coming up, and I was not lying. We're gonna talk about Big Brother number 16. This is the infamous black issue. Is it infamous? I don't know. It's been like 25 years, 26 years. I believe this was summer of 95 is when I got this. From my recollection, it wasn't really offensive at all. I don't know. But look, we're gonna look back on this with 2026 eyes, and we're gonna see what we see. Damn, first up, 101 dropping bombs, Clyde and Gino, and I think that's Dill back there. Toy Machine Monster Squad, 1995. No black skaters on their team. Shiloh for World Industries, I think this might have been right when he was getting out of jail. Oh, this is an interesting one. I remember this. I think in the little inset here, it kind of explains the legend behind the lawn jockey. You know, the legend of this this slave that was good, quote unquote, good slave, that he was tasked with staying with his master's horse and would not leave the horse's side and froze to death. And this was like the lawn jockey is like a tribute to that. And it ends by saying, yeah, if you see a house with one of these in front, burn it down. Jamie Thomas and Dan Sturt for Etnies America. What a fusion between skater and photographer here. And honestly, that's not a great Sturt photo. Longer sizes for shorties. Asterisk, stereotype. Trust skateboards. Steve Barra for what wheels? Oh, Pure Wheels, okay. God, what a great ad. Again, Flip ads during this time did not show any skating. They were just like these high concept things, but like very cool. And it just added to the mystery of who these guys from across the pond were. Clout Skateboards. I cut that last page out because there's some full frontal male nudity on the letters page. Chuck Wampler, Survivor, 4 shots. Chuck Wampler was shot, I believe, in like, somebody was trying to jack him and his filmer, maybe for their camera, at, kind of one of those, sketchy schools in LA. And I believe he became a cop after this. I like the quotes. I'm not gonna read any of them, but you can pause it and read those quotes. They're pretty good. Sad, Simple as Death, Jay Stevens for Grind King. Not great trucks, but the switch frontside nose grind is an underrated, highly underrated, stylish trick. Highly underrated. Also, Simple shoes. Grind King and Simple, the fucking Sad needed some better sponsors. Andy Stone for Nicotine. God, there's a whole bunch of companies that aren't around anymore. Oh yeah, this is great. I loved how these guys got photoshopped. They photoshopped their way in. Joe McClellan and Carlos Alemán were photoshopped into a Calvin Klein ad with Kate Moss for Pound Clothing. Pretty funny. I bet they got a cease and desist for that one. Cream, oof, another company. It's not around anymore. Black Skaters, here we go. Caesar Singh, Postrous. In these interviews, they ask them, general stuff about like, it's a general skate interview, just like some BS. And then like a lot of like, what kind of music do you listen to? What's your experience being a black skater? And have you experienced racism? Things like that. Now, some of the skaters were more willing to talk about those kind of racial questions than others. And the ones that probably didn't want to, they definitely shied away from. Some people are willing and eager to talk about their experiences and their identity being black skaters, and some are not too interested in talking about that for whatever reason. So it seems like Big Brother honestly like handles that pretty well. Drake Jones, all right, switch backside nose grind, also an underrated stylish trick. Oscar Jordan. All right. Oh, the Sad interview. Sad is from South Central LA and very experienced with firsthand with gang culture. And I was always struck with like how kind of hood this dude was, but like also I think he talks about like wanting to like be a man of the world, and also like the importance of being an individual, which I thought was like, it was cool. It was really inspiring, like as a teenager, to see that. Larry Moore, oh, what a great photo with the heel flip, the black flag board. I can never quite tell what's going on here. There's looks like something's been painted over. There's stickers on top of stickers. Alfonso Rawls, Clyde, back 5-0 on something unusual. Keenan about to touch down on a switchback tail. I love all the angles, very similar angles on a lot of these tricks that are just like basic ledge tricks. They really showcase like a lot of power and a lot of style. Shiloh, photo from underneath front nose on the water fountain. That's dope. This is weird. There's like in the middle, in the very center of this issue, Mike Crabtree for Sonic, and then a whole like fake cover for Big Brother, but issue 22. But I believe this is also, I think this is also Mike Crabtree. I think that's a San Jose spot. Sean Sheffy, I used to study this photo. Carl Watson, this is Carl Watson on the come up, and he just gets this little thing. Jamal Williams, again, it's hard to make a backtail look bad on anything. Rascass and Saphir interviews, Gershon. Yeah, they ask him in this interview too, they ask him about his, what's your relationship with Mike Vallely, however you want to say it. Because I think just 2 issues before this, Big Brother number 14, Mike said something that was racist in his interview, or was at least perceived as racist by a lot of people. And this is after, Gershon has joined him on Powell, and he doesn't really have anything to say about it. I haven't really talked to him since I was on Powell. So it's weird. I've never been able to track down what Mike V said in this interview. The rumor was, it was like, ooh, Mike V might be a racist. But anyway, if anybody knows, let me know. Ken Russell, Grind Inc., Tyrone Olsen, Ron Chapman, Kenny Hughes, Sal Barbier, Marcus McBride, barely doing a front crook. I like that photo though, like that closeness. It brings out these shadows and the contrast that like just don't get a lot in skate photos. It's cool. Kareem Campbell interview. This is weird because like that's definitely not a make. Some of the stuff like ended up being like this, ended up being in his trilogy part that came out like a year later. Okay, well that was short. Black Skaters of NYC. All right. Ooh, they're kind of getting everybody in here, including Harold Hunter. He's just kind of in the mix. He's just a dude. And then by contrast, we have the Society Skateboards team. I believe that's Robbie McKinley back there, trying to look as tough as they possibly can. And this is when I noticed too that like there was definitely a uniform happening at this time. And then in contrast to this right here, where these guys are trying real hard to look tough, profile, they're playing around, they're having fun with some, mirror or something. Like even Henry Sanchez has got a kind of a smile on his face, Bike skateboards, coffee clothing, Experience, so many companies that had like a 2-year run at most. Duke's Shoes, Bandwagon Clothing, and Drake Jones on the back cover. I would say, you can read all these interviews here, right here and right now, but this collective of black skateboarders is not a monolith, and we have like lots of different varied personalities and experiences and backgrounds that these guys all come from. And also, this issue kind of solidified that black skateboarders were not a novelty. Kudos to Big Brother for doing what no one else wanted to do, doing what no one else even thought of doing, creating this issue of a magazine that was talked about for years and years afterward. The legacy of this is you get like the kind of Black Skaters Matter cover of Thrasher almost 30 years after this. All these people are important to skateboarding.